It's Monday, November 7th. Hopefully you come back to life at some point. And e-learning day this coming Friday. And so we have another one of those quizzes that I did not create that second graders taking the same one. And Outsiders homework is due tomorrow, but I think just Dead Kid has to do it, so I'll show it to you in a second for Dead Kid. And then again, hopefully you have checked your points in grade. Grade has, we had the Outsiders quiz went on there, the fiction quiz that we did last week with escalators, and then there was also like homework last week. So we had like 3 grades come in last week. So in theory, it moved your grade somewhere.
Escalators?
And then our Charger Challenge champions, and this is the last day
I'll
put it
that
up.
one.
Actually, no. Tomorrow I'll do it one more time, but I have a different picture I'll put up tomorrow. And eventually I'll stop bragging about it. So the Outsiders homework on Canvas, you have 12 questions. Make sure you answer 10 of them, and then you should be good to go. And just submit it there. Or give me a scrunchy face. And then
Can I? There's a lot of stuff. It's like a party, church, hospital.
you can do it on a piece of paper. Take a picture of
That's
it.
what I did for mine.
No.
And then you also have some past ones during your death that whenever you get those turned in, I can grade them for you.
Okay.
Okay. For you guys, I'm going to review the quiz for last week speedily, and then also that fiction common one we did. You guys did pretty well. I think like the average grade was like a B+, A- on it. On the one you guys did that had the 7 questions that was about like short story things. This was the only one that I wanted to take a look at. For the most part, you guys did well. So with this one, you could get up to 3 points. Almost all of you showed that you understood irony, which was great. The only issue came into, can you explain irony? And that's where it got a little bit tougher. The irony, let's back up. What is the irony in the picture?
Escalators don't require any effort.
And so that's where it came into. As long as you did something where you explained the laziness, you got full points. As long as you gave me something that made sense, you got a point. And I had some kids who just rambled. If you mention the fact that exercising or working out, or they're going to a workout place and there's an escalator, good job. You just described the picture. That doesn't explain irony. You had to talk about the fact that they're being lazy. Something about this allows them to be lazy, or they're not working out by doing it. That's what I needed from you. So if you mentioned the idea of being lazy, you probably got all 3 points. If you look at it and wondering why you didn't get all 3, did you talk about them being lazy? And so that was the main thing that made the difference there. Go you guys. Questions there? No? Yay. I was fairly happy you guys did well. Then, on the other quiz thing, which I don't think you've done yet, Cora, so we'll have to kick you in the hallway for just a moment.
I'm confused as reading the question.
Please kick her out.
Correct.
I think we
We
just
have to
gave
kick you out for a moment.
You should have been reading the book.
Go back home.
I read the book.
You read the wrong
That
book.
we need to be.
You read the right, it's the same book.
I mean, if you want to take the quiz right now, you can.
What quiz?
Oh, the one from last Friday.
Wait, what?
She doesn't watch the video.
The quiz.
We had one on Friday that went up to the end of chapter 8.
That's the one we need to take.
Do you want to take it now?
Yes.
She's gonna
It's up to you.
Okay, should I?
get her out of here.
I have to take it anyway.
Right. Rumor is yes.
I just didn't want to do any of the quizzes because I didn't know like if I'm supposed to.
Take the book. Help me out too. There you go.
That's the wrong book.
Yes, it's the right book.
Yes, it is.
Cora, they've missed you.
Yeah.
No, we haven't.
I know.
They
Stay home.
They had to turn you against Dragoo one day. It was rough.
And Bryce.
You
Yeah.
did ask the question though.
All right. So those are all the questions that are on there that apparently just confused poor Cora. And let's see.
I didn't even
That's your fault. You teach me that.
All right. We'll go to
Rise.
run through my questions real quick on there. So
I don't know if
this one requires you to know a little bit about superheroes. If you didn't, then you could have always tried to Google a thing. But how do the Greasers and Socias feel about each other?
They hate each other.
They're enemies. Who is Batman's enemy?
Thanos.
I
Didn't wait. Mr. Superman.
Superman.
So that was,
It's a one movie.
are we done yelling at me now? Okay. And so for those of you who are, yes, there is a movie called Batman v Superman. If you watch it, there is a part of it where they angrily fight each other. Then they become friends. Then they start the Justice League together. And so that's why they're not enemies, because yes, they had a little misunderstanding punch, but that does not make them enemies. They then end up having sleepovers and become best friends. The Joker and Batman, no cuddles at all. They're always enemies. There is no friendship there.
The Joker is saving Batman sometimes.
Yeah,
The
Batman hasn't killed
Greasers to the empty lot, and then Mr. Brovicast. Yeah, they're always hanging out in the empty lot. I'm always in my classroom. I wish it was Florida, but that is definitely not the answer. And Bob is to Randy. So how are Bob and Randy connected?
Best buds.
And who's Steve's best friend?
Soda.
So Soda or Soda Pop is his best friend.
They're good chums.
Why does Johnny Cade, his mother, not see him?
He hates her.
He hates her.
Yeah, she is apparently a horrible person, and he saves children and gets pushed in the hospital, and she shows up to yell at him for having bad friends, and he was like, you should go die. After they leave, why does Cherry not visit Johnny?
Because he killed Bob.
Apparently, women still upset about the fact that he killed her boyfriend, because she was the girlfriend. And apparently she can't let it go that he's dead. So yeah, she's still a little upset about that. Which would be a good example of foreshadowing, considering what we know.
Page 79. If that old church caught fire.
There you go.
The old man
It was
was
the thing I
tired.
tried not to bring up at the time, but unfortunately I accidentally showed you guys the fire picture.
You did.
And we got to it, and you guys were like, oh my god, it's gonna burn! And I'm like, well, technically that is gonna be foreshadowing. Why does Randy decide he doesn't want to be in the big rumble?
Because he's scared.
And the whole thing is, it's all fun and games until your best friend gets killed. And then it's hilarious.
He's too busy cleaning out his belly. What?
But the problem is, all of his friends are going to make fun of him because they all want to go beat up greasers. And he's like, I don't want to beat up greasers. And they're like, well, then you're a big sissy. And he's like, I'm not a sissy. I just don't want people to die. And so now he's stuck in this spot of trying to figure out what to do. Yes, Smithers.
Delicious gummy goodness.
Grapple.
Okay, so each quiz you have a theme of the
wrong answers.
Yes.
Yes.
What inspired you to get belly button gummy goodness?
Well, obviously.
And the toe jam.
Because it's delicious. And I was obviously in the process of making this quiz and got a little hungry. Took a little toe jam, little belly button stuff, and I was like, yum, yum, yum. I put them on some crackers, and it was all.
You make a toe jam filtered cigarette.
Number 8 of all the items that Johnny buys, which one leaves the pony feeling sick?
Cigarettes.
There you go.
I put bologna.
Cigarettes, ciggies, cancer
Bologna.
sticks.
I put pools.
Yeah. Bologna, not so much. He does not like bologna, but that's not the one that makes
Gone
it
with
down.
the wind.
Gone with the wind.
What does the poem tell us about childhood?
Nothing gold can say.
Kids will sometimes do weird things.
There you go. Enjoy being in this class because it won't last forever. 10. Why does Johnny decide to not use the hydrogen peroxide?
Because the skin color was too dark to look
There
right.
you go. Skin color's too dark, and apparently he would stand out. 11. Why does Cherry decide to help the greasers?
She feels guilty about
Your
it.
boyfriend.
Yeah, even though they killed her boyfriend, she's still like, well, he was kind of a giant jerkhole and did beat the kid to a pulp and then showed up again to try and beat him to a pulp.
Best
So I
belly
feel a little
jam
bad about my
recipes.
boyfriend being like, the
She
boogeyman
wants
of
to
greasers.
steal them.
And what is it we discover to be the best definition of Dally's goal?
I don't know. I put
That's
try.
just happy. He keeps talking to Johnny and the fact that Johnny is an innocent, good person. What 2 characters get injured?
I put Johnny and Dally, but it counted it wrong for some reason.
Probably because you spelled Johnny wrong.
Oh.
A lot of kids spelled Johnny
he
wrong
spelled Johnny
and
wrong.
spelled it Jhonny. I have no idea why you would do that, but it's you spelled it that way. Congratulations.
I didn't spell it with an H.
Spelling does count. It's a good thing there was a book right in front of you that had all the spellings. What is the conjunction?
This one's hard.
But.
Apparently a lot of kids thought the word conjunction was the same as contraction. And it had a lot of kids choose he's as their conjunction.
Contraction.
Contractions where you take 2 words and put them together. He
It's a
will not.
minute.
that?
Chickens giving birth.
The correct answer is just but. And the last one, what part of speech is us? And yes, I was even letting you Google it if you wanted to, if you thought that would help you. Apparently it didn't help kids enough. So on here, these were all 12 questions. Any idea which question we did the worst on? Because I went through and looked at our overall scores and can figure out what our numbers
Grammar.
Dally's gold.
Dally's gold?
Yeah.
We feel strong on that one?
No, I got that one right. I got that one.
Is correct. Half of you missed Dally's gold.
I missed
That was our tough one. But on the other side, we had a whole bunch that you guys all got correct. So my next question is, how many perfect 100% do you think we got?
Question
Question
Hang on.
one.
Hold up your fingers on how many questions. I'll tell you,
How many?
it was one or more that you guys all got correct and no one missed. So you're saying 4 we all got? 3?
I bet it was the foreshadowing one that we all got.
And
Oh!
those are the ones that everybody got correct.
8.
Knew it.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Bro, I should throw up the double
We'll
fours.
see about that when Cora finishes the test.
I thought they did. In my regular class, they missed
Well,
it.
we'll
I
see
guess
about
it
that
was
when
the
Cora
us that
finishes
people
the
missed.
test.
I knew there was one of the grammar ones that threw me off. And there you go.
Oh, wow.
And then the other ones was fairly well overall. So you guys. So yeah, that was the overall for this class average together. It tells you like how many people missed the different ones and stuff. So that was the
What is
second
so
lowest.
difficult about Randy and soda pop analogy?
I'm probably the 9%.
Alright. Now back to outsiders.
Let's go.
Let's see what we did.
Oh my God!
So after you guys harassed poor Cora, ironically, today I had also found past book covers when I was going through and Googling and things. Got curious, because I know I have old past book covers over here. Like I have this cover. I have like 2 of those. Like they're from the 1980s. But I managed to track down those book covers.
Yeah, I just have this random guy.
But yeah, that one's from like my childhood. I'm guessing this one's from the 90s. Because looking at those hairstyles, that is some 90s hairstyles right there.
Who's
Hey,
on the
Dad.
cover?
My dad was really mad that they changed the cover because when he was like, when dinosaurs were roaming the earth when he was in school, he was like, this is the only book I read and enjoyed. I haven't picked up a book since. He was really mad that the cover changed.
Sadness.
Bryce, turn that off.
Pony Boy?
That did not look like a
I think it's just a random.
I just took Cody by like red.
So yes,
Turn it off.
while I was in the process of looking up the book
Allie
covers,
looks more blonde than Cody Boy.
I decided to look up some more pictures and found some fan art.
Why is Cody Boy redhead?
Exactly.
Well,
They said he
They said he has dark, long
Allie looks like he's
yes, like in the very opening chapter, he talks about the fact that,
He has blonde hair.
you know,
Boy, where's Steve?
no.
Oh, I didn't mention Steve.
Get out of here!
yeah, it's like,
Wait, there's no Steve.
you good?
She got an 8.
It's like the first or second page, they talk about him having reddish hair.
Where's Steve?
No, they said he has
Why
blonde
is
hair.
it so
I didn't
pale?
want
Is
it.
it red hair?
How about this one?
That's even worse.
Tim Shepard.
Tim Shepard. What?
They have Steve.
Tim Shepard is one that got into the fight with Dally.
I know, Tim. Well, why is he in
But
there?
he shows up again today in our part we're going to get to.
Oh, he has a switchblade. 2-bit does.
Alright. If you've read ahead,
I have.
do not spoil
I
it.
found the movie on Amazon Prime last
Something
night.
cool comes up.
We have a lot more big things that are going to happen.
I read the whole
Like the first
entire
sentence in
time.
chapter.
Yes. So who is it that carries the heater?
Me.
And what do we know about it?
It's not loaded.
It's the react. What chapter is supposed to be on?
Up to
Chapter 12.
We're supposed to be on chapter 12.
We're supposed to be on chapter 24.
We're going to start chapter 9 in just a
Okay.
second. See
supposed to be on
Punisher.
It's unfucked.
That was
Who was my favorite character?
Joe!
Already done. And what's my favorite scene?
Him chucking children out the window!
And it's not on the quiz, it's just my favorite part of the book, so.
You should have put that on the quiz.
And then, let's see, why does Randy track Pony down to Tasty Freak? Why does Randy want to talk to him?
Because
He wants to tell him
about the rumble, how he's not showing up.
Alright, so we get to, what kind of person is Johnny Small?
A Karen! A Karen!
Addicted as sugar.
What does Dally want from 2-Bit?
It's nice. I don't know
There's a
why.
big fight coming up, so we're gonna get to him using that.
I thought they said no.
And they did.
Because when Johnny
Because Jerry don't know anything.
Because Jerry's mad about
Because Jerry's dumb.
It could have been that.
131. There we go. It was almost 6:30 when I got home. The rumble was set for 7, so I was late for supper as usual. I always come in late. I forget what time it is. Derry had cooked dinner, baked chicken, potatoes, corn, 2 chickens because all 3 of us eat like horses, especially Derry. But although I love baked chicken, I can hardly swallow any. I swallowed 5 aspirins though, and Derry and soda weren't looking. I do that all the time because I can't sleep very well at night. Derry thinks I take just 1, but I usually take 4.
Good for your health.
No, it's not.
Over it.
I
called
figured
internal
5 would keep me going for the rumble and maybe get rid of my headache. Then I hurried to take a shower and change clothes. Me and Soda and Derry always got spruced up before a rumble. And besides, we wanted to show those socias we weren't trash, that we were just as good as they were. Hey, Soda, when did you start shaving? When I was 15. When did Derry? When he was 13. Why? Are you figuring on growing a beard for the rumble? You're funny. We ought to send you into the Reader's Digest. I hear they pay a lot for funny things. Reader's Digest is a magazine that your grandparents may read. There's like this little thing that has a section where you can send in like jokes, and they will print your little jokes and stuff like that. So people will talk about sending in their jokes all the time. Soda laughed and went right on playing poker with Steve in the living room. Derry had on a tight black t-shirt that showed every muscle on his chest and even the flat, hard muscles of his stomach. Man, I'd hate to be the Soch who takes a crack at him, I thought, as I pulled on a clean t-shirt and a fresh pair of jeans. And I wish my t-shirt was tighter. I mean, I have a pretty good build for my size, but I've lost a lot of weight in Windrixville. It just didn't fit right. It was a chilly night, and t-shirts aren't the warmest clothes in the world, but nobody ever gets cold in a rumble. Besides, jackets interfere with your swinging ability. Soda and Steve and I had put on more hair oil than was necessary, but we wanted to show that we were greasers. Tonight, we could be proud of it. Now, greasers may not have much, but they have a rep. Well, that and long hair. What kind of world is it where all I have to be proud of is a reputation for being a hood and greasy hair? I don't want to be a hood, but even if I don't steal things and mug people and get boozed up, I'm marked lousy. Why should I be proud of it? Why should I even pretend to be proud of it? Derry never went in for the long hair. His was short and clean all the time. I sat in the armchair in the living room, waiting for the rest of the outfit to show up. But of course, tonight, the only one coming would be 2-Bit. Johnny and Dallas wouldn't show. Soda and Steve were playing cards and arguing as usual. Soda was keeping up a steady stream of wisecracks and clowning, and Steve had turned up the radio so loud that it almost broke my eardrums. Of course, everybody listens to it like that, but it wasn't the best thing for a headache. You like fights, don't you, Soda? Yeah, sure, I like fights. How come? I don't know. It's action. It's a contest. It's like a drag race or a dance or something. Shoot, said Steve. I want to beat them Soch's heads in. When I get in a fight, I want to stomp the other guy good. I like it too. How come you like fights, Derry? I asked, looking up at him as he stood behind me, leaning in the kitchen doorway. He gave me one of those looks that hide what he's thinking, but Soda piped up. He likes to show off his muscles. I'm going to show them off on you, little buddy, if you get any mouthier. I digested what Soda had said. It was the truth. Derry liked anything that took strength, like weightlifting or playing football or roofing houses, even if he was proud of being smart, too. Derry never said anything about it, but I knew he liked fights. I felt out of things. I'll fight anyone, anytime, but I don't like to. And I don't know if you ought to be in this rumble, Pony, Derry said slowly. Oh, no. I've got to be in it. Right then, the most important thing in my life was helping us whip the socias. Don't let him make me stay home now. I've got to be in it. How come? I've always come through before, ain't I? Yeah, you fight real good for a kid your size, but you were in shape before. You've lost weight. You don't look so great, kid. You're tensed up too much. Shoot, said Soda, trying to get the ace out of his shoe without Steve seeing him. We all get tensed up before a rumble. Let them fight tonight. Skin never hurt anyone. No weapons, no danger. I'll be okay. I'll get hold of a little one, okay? Well, Johnny won't be there this time. Johnny and I sometimes ganged up on one big guy. But then Curly Shepherd won't be there either. Or Dally, and we'll need every man we can get. What happened to Shepherd? I asked, remembering Tim Shepherd's kid brother. Curly, he was a tough, cool, hard-as-nail Tim in miniature, and I had once played chicken by holding our cigarette ends against each other's fingers. We'd stood there clenching our teeth and grimacing with sweat pouring down our faces and the smell of burning flesh making us sick, each refusing to holler until Tim happened to stroll by. When he saw that we were really burning holes in each other, he cracked our heads together, swearing to kill us both if we ever pulled a stunt like that again. I still have the scar on my forefinger. Curly was an average downtown hood. Tough, not real bright, but I liked him. He could take anything. He's in the cooler, Steve said, kicking the ace out of Soda's shoe. In the reformatory. Again? Let me fight, Derry. If it was blades or chains or something, it'd be different. Nobody ever gets really hurt in a skin rumble. And real quick, what is a skin rumble?
Fists only.
Fists only.
And
Well, alright, I guess you can, but be careful. And if you get in a jam, holler, and I'll get you out. I'll be okay. How come you never worry about Soda Pop as much? I don't see you lecturing him. Man, Derry grinned and put his arm across Soda's shoulders. This is one kid, brother, I don't have to worry about. Soda punched him in the ribs affectionately. This kiddo can use his head. Soda Pop looked down at me with mock superiority, but Derry went on. You can see he uses it for one thing, to grow hair on. He ducked Soda's swing and took off for the door. Two-Bit stuck his head in the door just as Derry went flying out of it, leaping as he went off the steps. Derry turned a somersault in midair, hit the ground, and bounced up before Soda could catch him. Well up, Two-Bit said cheerfully, cocking an eyebrow. I see we are in prime condition for a rumble. Is everybody happy? Yeah! Screamed Soda as he too did a flying somersault off the steps. He flipped up to walk on his hands, then did a no-hands cartwheel across the yard to beat Derry's performance. The excitement was catching. Screeching like an Indian, Steve went running across the lawn in flying leaps, stopped suddenly and flipped backwards. We could all do acrobatics because Derry had taken a course at the Y and then spent a whole summer teaching us everything he'd learned on the grounds it might come in handy in a fight. It did, but it also got Two-Bit and Soda jailed once. They were doing mid-air flips down a downtown sidewalk, walking on their hands and otherwise disturbing the public and the police. Leave it to those two to pull something like that. With a happy whoop, I did a no-hands cartwheel off the porch steps, hit the ground, and rolled to my feet. Two-Bit followed me in a similar manner. I am a greaser, Soda Pop chanted. I am a JD and a hood. I blacken the name of our fair city. I beat up people. I rob gas stations. I am a menace to society. Man, do I have fun. Greaser, greaser, greaser. Steve sings song. Oh, victim of environment, underprivileged, rotten, no count hood. Juvenile delinquent, you're no... You guys break into song before fights, right? That's like a thing that kids do nowadays. I was making sure like I wasn't the crazy one there. Juvenile delinquent, you're no good, Derry shouted. Get thee hence, white trash, Two-Bit said in a snobbish voice. For I am a Soge. I am the privileged and the well-dressed. I throw beer blasts, drive fancy cars, and break windows at fancy parties. What do you do for fun? I jump greasers! Two-Bit screamed and did a cartwheel. Quick pause again. So we're getting ready to have big rumbly fight thing between the Socias and the Greasers. And again, I tried to look up your art to help you out there. Why soda pop emo? It just makes them look adorable. You just have to accept these things. Whoa! Your homework is to finish chapter 9, which is going to be the big rumble. Tomorrow we're going to talk about chapter 9, and then we're going to read chapter 10 together.
Yes.
But you're not going to want me to read the end of chapter 9 with you.
I do that.
Because there's a thing that happens that you're not going to want me reading out loud to you.
Is Steve gonna die?
I know what.
I actually know what happened. You've already
Don't you say anything, people who know what
Yeah,
happens.
no saying anything until we read tonight.
I read the whole book yesterday.